Good boom everyone, welcome back to your beloved atomic chess speedrun, the literal most aggressive variant available on chess.com. And without any further ado, let's get into today's content. First game we get an almost 1700 rated American E3. Aha! That threatens queen h5 g6 is force queen d5 forking my d and f pawn, which is an actual checkmate in one. Therefore, e6. Knight f3. f6 is kinda forced. Knight c3. That threatens knight b5 knight c7 exploding 3 pieces, but since the queen side isn't lethal, knight h6 counterattack. Knight b5. That blunders a king. Knight g4, genuinely a checkmate in one. Kaboom. That opens up the c-file. Rook c8. Bishop b5. Aha! That threatens bishop takes d7 exploding my king. I have to sacrifice this rook. Knight d4. Okay, his f-pawn can move now. Kaboom! I actually completely forgot about my own threat. It's definitely not like I want to play a longer game for more watch time. But anyway. After that game I got a few free wins, until this second game we get a beginner from Philippines. d4. e5. Aha! He is baiting me to take his e-pawn and then his d-pawn is physically unstoppable. Therefore, knight f3 instead. Knight f3 first move is considered to be the strongest move for white, which forces f6 from black, but by switching the move sequence into d4 and then knight f3 second move, f6 now doesn't work anymore because there are already too many pieces controlling the g5 square. f6. I'll show you what I meant. Knight g5. F takes g5. Bishop g5. Now he has to sacrifice his queen. Knight f6. That blunders a king. D takes e5. Queen takes g5. Queen takes d7. Kaboom! I just want to tell you, even though I'm winning these games very quickly, it is not because these guys suck, it's just that I am currently way too strong for these people. Next game. We get a 1900 from Australia, who is also 1900 rated in Rapid and also bought the Platinum membership. I am so dead. d4. e5. Same like last game, knight f3. The best move here is h6, by the way. And this guy fell for the exact same blunder like the last guy. Knight g5. You see, it wasn't because the last guy was bad. Things like knight f3 f6 are already too common in this variant that they don't even doubt it for a moment. Boom boom e4. Of course this guy didn't block with the knight and blunder his king. The game is still on. Never mind. That blunders a king. Queen h5 check. g6. Queen g5. Physically unstoppable. He can delay it though. c3. Knight f6. Kaboom! Bishop e7. Queen takes e7. Kaboom! We're up to a very great start. Fourth game, let's go. Aha! So for your information, after every game I usually take a short break to avoid facing an opponent multiple times in a row. But apparently for some very unknown reason this guy also decided to do the same, and yet he faces me again. d4. He knows his mistake. Knight c3. a6. e4. a6 can prevent knight b5, so I'm baiting him to capture my e-pawn, and then I can go knight d5 forking a lot of things. He doesn't fall for it. Knight h3. Bishop g4. Aha! He wants me to block my own queen first before he eventually decides to capture my knight, but it doesn't seem like I have any other options. f3. This guy is very strong. Bishop takes h3. He takes d5. Opening up the way for my d-pawn, it should be physically unstoppable. He argues that his e-pawn is also unstoppable. I'll stop it. He takes f3 wins a bishop, but then queen e2 check is also physically unstoppable. Bishop d6. Knight d5. Kaboom. Kaboom. And I completely forgot about queen e2. Knight f6. Well, but it doesn't matter, this game is already mine to win. Bishop c4. As long as I don't make any critical blunders, everything is absolutely under control. Long castle. Bishop d5. Threatening bishop b7, exploding his king. He trades. Queen f3. Rook blocks. Okay, now rook e8 check is a massive threat. Long castle. King b8. Queen g6 check. Rook blocks again. Rook e1. Rook c8. c3. Rook e8. Rook e7. Even though this variant allows you to explode the king, it actually prevents you from hanging your own king, so maybe he actually cannot even capture my rook here. Resignation. I missed a lot of chances back there. But a win is a win. Final game, let's go. We get a 1900 from India, who has played over 1,000 games of atomic chess. That is a lot of experience. Knight f3. f6 is forced. e4. d5. e5. Okay, this is getting ugly. I'll try to counter-attack. He doesn't even bother. There is no f-pawn for him to explode. Knight g4. There is an f-pawn for me to explode. f4. Okay, I need to think for a bit. This is getting very confusing. He wants me to go knight f2, which he can respond with queen f3, and then I have no more attack. I also cannot just explode his knight here because queen h5 check g6 queen g5, and then my e-pawn is totally undefendable. And furthermore, I also cannot just leave it like this because knight f7 is coming and I will have to lose my queen. So after a while of thinking, c6. Since I have no idea on how to solve the problem on that side, I'll just create a path for my queen to run away. He is welcome to go knight f7 as he pleases. He decided to take the rook instead. Which is an idea. Queen b6. d4. I'll sacrifice. I'm sure that is a bad idea. But humanly speaking, it is very difficult for him to find a good continuation in this situation. h3. I'll sacrifice that knight, knight a6. And I've just realized knight e3 would actually won the game. Kaboom. Bishop g4. It's fine. Queen b1. Bishop e2. King d2 is kinda forced. Knight b4. c4. Kaboom. Rook h8. Castle. e6. My a-pawn is passed. Push. c5 a4 g4 boom g5 e3 boom a2 f5 a-pawn changes gender. f6. Queen c3 check. King d1. Queen d2. Checkmate in 1. Atomic chess speed run today. 100% win rate.